Hi, I'm Chelsea and I'm the Geeky Ballerina. Today we're going to talk about one of the elements of artistry. We're going to talk about musicality. Specifically, we're going to talk about rhythm. Rhythm is a very foundational concept in musicality. So we start it with our very youngest dancers, our most beginning dancers. And then by the time they reach intermediate and advanced levels, it should be pretty well ingrained. So what is rhythm? Rhythm is just a repeating pattern of sound and silence. That's all it is. It's really simple. We can make it more complex. We can layer multiple rhythms on top of each other. We can syncopate a rhythm. We can have one rhythm carried by, for example, the woodwinds in a piece and another rhythm carried by the strings. We can do a lot, but at the end of the day, rhythm is a repeating pattern of sounds and silences. And for our little ones, there's two kinds of rhythm that we're going to start talking with, right? There's an even rhythm, which is walking or marching. It's very, very even. And then there's an uneven rhythm, like a gallop or a skip. Hold off on introducing the skip with your youngest ones though, because kids are not developmentally ready to skip until usually about 4 or 5. Pretty close to their 5th birthday is when that starts to click. So if you're working on rhythm with, for example, some 2.5-year-olds, gallops and walking are things they can do. The gallop sometimes not so much. But we can play with rhythm other ways. We can clap rhythm. We can stomp and clap. We can play with musical like little egg shakers. There's lots of fun ways to introduce rhythm, and you can have the kids create their own starting at a really young age. It'll be a short pattern, but a repeating pattern of sound and silence, and you're playing with rhythm. One of the things that you're probably already doing with your youngest kids is using song to help coordinate rhythm and movement. At its most basic, rhythm is that repeating pattern of sound and silence, but since we are dancing, we coordinate the movement with the rhythm. Songs are great for that. You don't have to be good at singing. You don't have to have a minor in opera performance. Just sing. Bend, bend, bend your knees all day. That can be your plie song. You can do head, shoulders, knees, and toes. There are tons of songs that you can do. It helps the kids remember the movement. It's fun because it's interactive. They get to sing with you once they've learned the song. And it is coordinating the rhythm and the movement together. It's a really underrated skill. I think we think that games are not learning, and that's completely untrue. Games absolutely are learning. And then when you get into your elementary and possibly intermediate division dancers and you want to go back and explore rhythms some more, I love to do this. It kind of throws people off the first time. So you divide the class into 2 groups, and you have group A make up a rhythm. Warn them to make it like something that's easy to remember and not crazy complicated. And group B comes up with a rhythm. They can clap, they can stomp, they can shuffle their feet, they can whatever. I mean, they can't hit the mirrors, but they can whatever they want to do to make that rhythm. Group A performs theirs, group B performs theirs, and then you do them at the same time. It uses a different part of your brain to keep track of your own rhythm when somebody else is doing their rhythm. And once kids are used to that, then you have group A come up with a movement that coordinates with their rhythm, and you have group B come up with a movement that coordinates with their rhythm. You show, and then you layer those. I actually split things off into 4 groups for that. So I've got A that claps, A that dances, B that claps, B that dances. That way the clappers get to watch, and then I have everybody switch. It can be a really, really fun way to challenge the way dancers keep track of rhythms. Another fun activity to explore rhythm with your dancers, and this works really well with particularly your elementary division students, have them march to the rhythm and move their port-de-bras to the melody. When the notes go up, their arms go up, and when the notes go down, their arms go down. But they have to be marching to the rhythm. Those are a few ideas to help get you started. Rhythm is really a foundational musical element. We need to spend some time in the pre-ballet and the ballet foundations, especially, making sure that the kids understand what rhythm is and that they have lots of chances to play with it, to make the sounds themselves, to change the sounds, and understand that okay, if we're going to change this one sound, we got to change it every time because it's a pattern. If you're interested in how I divide classes into pre-ballet, ballet foundations, elementary, intermediate, advanced, I have a curriculum available on my website, geekyballerina.com. I also have a blog there, and you can sign up for my newsletter where I talk about a technique tip and an element of artistry every month. As always, I hope you have a really great class.